All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, with about a quarter of the Major League Baseball season in the books, it was only a matter of time before the trade rumors began to heat up as we're beginning to see who are going to be the contenders this season and who are going to be the also rans. And for the Washington Nationals, it's been a steep decline from baseball's pinnacle is after being a playoff contender for the majority of the decade of the 2010s, which culminated with the franchise winning their first and only World Series title back in 2019. This team has been quickly dismantled through trades, free agency, and retirement. Now, the Nationals have not made the postseason since 2019, as in each of the last 2 years, they finished in last place in the National League East. And even with a record of 15 and 30 here in 2022, it's a good chance that the Nats are going to be cellar dwellers once more as they've quickly reverted back to what they were in their first few years in DC, as well as their last years as the Montreal Expos. And as the Nats are a long shot to make the postseason here in 2022, the rumors have begun in regards to Washington possibly trading all-star outfielder Juan Soto. Now, recently, Soto did turn down a 13-year, $350 million extension from Washington, which means that he probably feels that he can get more money as a free agent. But Soto is not scheduled to be an unrestricted free agent until the conclusion of the 2024 MLB season. And even though that this is the case, the Nationals could get plenty for him now via a trade, being that he'd still be under contract and on the cheap for the remainder of this year as well as 2023 and 2024. Now, would Nationals president of baseball operations and GM Mike Rizzo make that trade, or would he be compelled to make that trade? Only, in my opinion, only if the price is right. And I say that because the Nats received four prospects from the Los Angeles Dodgers last year when they traded starting pitcher Max Scherzer and infielder Trey Turner. Now, Scherzer turned out to only be a rental for the Dodgers, as once his contract was up after last season, he signed with the New York Mets, while Turner is scheduled to be a free agent this offseason. But in getting four prospects back from the Dodgers for those two, what could the Nationals get for Juan Soto? You think about Soto, he's a 5'2" player who has the potential to be an MVP if he's motivated. Now, of course, Soto's numbers are down big time this year. He's only batting 241, 8 homers so far, and 14 runs batted in. But you have to look at the team that's around him. And of course, the Nats are not as deep and they are not as talented, not even close to being as talented as they were when Soto first made his big league debut at the age of 19 back in 2018. So you look at it right now, if you put Soto in the right lineup with the right people, and if he is motivated, you know what, lights out. But that's going to be the big thing. Also, would a team move heaven and earth to try to get Soto? That's also the big question. To me, the likelihood that Soto is traded this season, I see it being very minuscule. And the reason is there's gonna be plenty of time to try to like sift through this and see what's going on. Because the bottom line is this: I don't see the Nationals being in a hurry to go out there and trade Juan Soto, being that he's still under contract for several years. The bottom line is this: if a team wants to go out there and get the services of Soto, it's going to take a king's ransom. I think the only way that it happens where Soto gets traded is if he becomes an unhappy camper. And let's not forget, there's a possibility that the Nationals franchise could be sold between now and then. So maybe a new owner comes in and maybe things are a little bit different for this organization. We don't know. But the bottom line is you definitely have to stay tuned to this There's a possibility of it, not a guarantee. There's going to be a lot of movement, of course, between now and the trade deadline as far as teams looking to improve their chances to not only get to the playoffs, but also win the World Series. But definitely, this is something that you have to keep your eyes on to see how serious that the Nationals are as far as trading Soto. Bottom line is Soto's going to get paid whenever he hits the free agent market. It's not a matter of if, it's more like when. It's just a matter of who is going to be doing the paying. Will it be the Nationals or somebody else? And the way that the ball is bouncing right now, it's probably not going to be the Nats because I simply don't see him staying in DC for the long term. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.